Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Moonlight Racing League Wednesday night Xfinity live on YouTube. As always, the voice of MRL, Mean Gene Money here in the booth with my tag team partner, Kevin Kyle, KK. We shall be bringing you all the action as we are approaching race 11 of our 13-race regular season. Tonight, welcome to Dover, Delaware. Dover Motor Speedway, the Monster Mile. They've been racing here since 1969. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Tonight, MRL Broadcasting, we're going to bring you some live Wednesday Xfinity. KK, how are things looking on your side of the internet?
We're looking pretty good. Mean Gene, glad to be back here for another Wednesday night Xfinity series. As lucky as we both are to be here covering this exciting series. But yeah, everything's looking great over here to me, Gene, and excited to get this thing underway as qualifying is getting ready to wrap up.
Yes, they are finishing qualifying. Some hot practice laps today. Colin Bollinger really put down a burner. David Cook had the fastest car in practice. Tommy Fox, that's a name I haven't had the opportunity to say very much. He's often been caught in the middle of these packs, but Tommy Fox with your second fastest lap. And you know, KK, he's got 9 starts on the year. It only takes 10 to qualify for the chase. And this is a win and you're in situation. Tommy Fox, definitely one of those drivers in 24th position currently. If that guy could win, he would just score his spot right into that. As we take a peek here at the chase for the championship standings, ladies and gentlemen, 4th position through 14th position, they're only separated by 39 points. You've got to have the 10 starts to get in, but how tight it is and where you finish is going to affect your chances moving forward. Once they finish the regular season, those chase points begin. The MRL officials will give you 1,000. You're going to get all your playoff bonus points, and then the top 5 regular season finishers, they'll also get points based on their position. So get to the chase and you get a reset, and then you got a chance to win in that 7-race chase season. Other drivers we're looking at up here that point out, how about Chris Cornett, KK? That guy, he had the tire strategy last week, but then he just got caught up in the foolishness.
Yeah, Chris Cornett has been doing a great job since entering the league, and he's always been a guy to look out for during these races. So I'll be real excited to keep an eye on him as he's right now sitting in 5th place in the standings.
And he didn't have a burner of a practice or qualifying, but he said that his car gets faster once he's in traffic. So that's a guy we're going to see moving forward, keeping an eye on. One other person I'd like for y'all to keep in your hearts and maybe send some prayers his way is that's going to be Robert Richards. Poor Robert, he's 10th in points currently. He was an unfortunate 12th in points. Unfortunately, Robert broke his shoulder in between our last races in a sporting accident, and Robert not sure if he's going to be able to make it back. Unfortunate loss. Robert, I hope you're watching, and all of us here hoping that you heal up as painlessly as possible. KK, let's look at the track right now. We can see these guys. They are rolling around, following that pace car. Looks like Colin Bollinger is going to be your pole sitter. And we are green as Bollinger leads them. He gets a heck of a good jump. Christopher Knott on the outside doesn't get quite the run. That opens the door for David Cook in the 71 to go underneath. And Chris Cornett in 4th. Sean Walton 5th. David Brenner, Joe Volpus. Series leader Nate Maurer. Ooh, a little bit of wall contact by the 69 early. He keeps it up high. Everybody makes their way under him, and we stay green here at Dover as the 53 is going to take that first lap. Good for him, Colin, moving up. He's your points. He is your leader right now, and Colin needs a good finish, KK. he got to 26th place last week. Not really where you expect to see a driver of that caliber finishing.
No, Colin had bad luck last week, and he's looking for a bounce back this time around here at Dover, as David Cook is all over the 53 at the moment.
Dude, this is a guy, David Cook. Well, I can't even tell you how many times that I've said his name leading laps in the last few weeks. At least I couldn't count it without taking off my shoes and your shoes, KK. But the last 7 races that we've had here in MRL, we have said 3 drivers' names as the winners. And that's going to be Nate Maurer, David Cook, David Owens. And right now you can see the speed of Cook. And if he looks outside, don't be surprised. I think that outside row, we might as well call that Cook lane, because he is owning that outside the last few weeks.
Yeah, he really enjoys that outside line. He's able to keep the momentum up. He's really good at balancing the tire wears. He gets up in the wall a little bit, but that's no biggie, as he looks like he's being a little more patient. But then there's Cornette in the 44 there, catching up to this little bit of a group. So great battle up front we have at the moment.
Looks like a lapped car might come into the equation a little bit sooner than we would like. It said Stephen Bryan, the New England driver, he's not wanting to be in that position. Looks like he's in the number 30. That's a pretty dark paint scheme. So we might actually see a lapped car come into this relatively quickly.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's only maybe a half a turn away right now, so he's definitely going to get involved. But I think he'll probably stay high or low, and everyone can get by him okay, but I'm more worried about the rest of the pack coming up behind him.
We don't want to see another Daniel Suarez Talladega incident. Look at this camera action. Really great racing back here. You can see on that inside, Walton making his way, hard racing there with Bobby Dodson in that 32. I love to see this side-by-side racing going on here at Dover. Dover's not that wide of a track. I mean, do you think they can make it around there comfortably, KK, side by side for more than a few laps?
I mean, with their history, no, but you should be able to. You just got to be patient, and it's all about give and take, but there hasn't been too much of that here in this league, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled as this race continues.
That's true. Last week at Iowa, though, we did see fewer incidents than we had in the previous weeks. Remember, MRL officials did come down with that new ruling of if you're involved in 3 incidents, you're going to go ahead and get yourself parked. I think a lot of drivers were a little bit more willing to not stick their nose where it doesn't belong. And let's face it, we're not a dog or a cat. You're not supposed to just stick your nose everywhere, KK.
That's right. That's right.
As we got that's somebody's back end.
Yes, right. And then Joseph Vulpes and Sean Walton there battling out behind in 69 of Knott there. So great battle between Sean and Joseph right now, with Nate Maurer trailing behind, as the battle for first place is still keeping the same. Looks like Cook is starting to just be a little more patient as they go by that lap car of the 30, which no problem. Looks like everyone's not going to have a problem getting by him there. It's the 44. As I say that, the 44 gets pretty close, but able to dive underneath and no problem at all. So we'll have to keep an eye, though, as the 30 is going to have to deal with the big pack coming up behind him, as these 3 have just checked out so far.
Yeah, you could see Christopher Knott, he had that incident almost instantly on that first lap, allowing that gap to build, not keeping his car going straight, holding on to 4th. But there is some action behind him. And oh my, I was afraid of some 3-wide action. But look at that, KK. You could throw a blanket over those 6 cars, how tight they are. I think it's a pressure, and pressure burst pipes. We're just going to have to see what Knott can do with these guys knotting on his door.
Yeah, Babcock gets hit or gets tight, and he goes up in the outside wall. He's going to lose a ton of positions, as the field's just basically going to freight train him. But Joseph Vulpes got loose there in front of Nate Maurer and company, and that's what caused this big shakeup here, as now the 971's made the pass on Sean, is taking over that spot.
You can see some other veteran drivers coming into the picture. Kyle Lynn, he's in that aquamarine and white car, and then that's Matt Novella behind him in that green, yellow, orange car. So you can see some of the more veteran drivers starting to come into the picture. Hopefully everybody will manage to keep these things on the straight and narrow. Babcock, Walton there falls into line behind those drivers, keeping it clean right now. Good racing by these guys. Back up front, the 53 of Bollinger continues to be your leader, but you can see Cornette. He is knocking hard on the door of David Cook. Cornette, last week that guy had the best strategy with those tires, and then he got spun on that restart. Really unfortunate. I thought Cornette had the winning strat. At Iowa, he becomes a victim of a spin, and that allowed Owens to secure his place up in that victory lane without any competition from Cornette. Cornette loved to put his name back into the ring as a contender. As you can see, he's given David Cook all he can handle.
Yeah, and then further back, I'm just checking in on another pack behind the Nate Maurer pack, which we got Alex McCorder. 26 was Oso Manley, 32 with Bobby Dotson, and these guys are fighting real tight as Zeke. 29 gets loose, spins to 26 into the Hunter into the inside wall. That's going to bring out our first caution of the race. Oh, and more accident, more hitting. Oh, unbelievable. The 48's hit too.
That's 4 cars. Let's go back to that caution. Unfortunate series of events. Looks like the 48 got loose, perhaps.
It's all going to start around. I think it all starts around the 26 here. So let's take a look if I can get us a better shot here. 26.
So 26 is Hunter Manley. He did win the opener. Oh, and he is a victim. You could see him spin right back on, and then Espy goes right through the rear end of him.
Yeah, makes a lot of that checks out with Espy. All right. Then
now remember, there is no quick repair here today, so if you're a victim, pack it up. Wow, he really drove right under that car. That was something.
Yeah, he blinked out.
Is that Bobby Dodson there in the 32?
Yeah, there's Bobby Dodson in the 32.
I see McCorder ahead. Looks like McCorder's going to let off just a little bit to not hit KB.
No, it all starts with a 7, I believe, Mean Gene. 7's up here, Brower. Just gets tight and starts headed towards that outside wall, and he has to slow down speed, which checks up to 29 into the 26, and Bobby has no place to go.
That is some painful driving to see these guys running so strong so early in the race and then suddenly finding themselves the victim. Pit road is open and active right now. See the 21 in there. That's that O'Reilly's car getting a little bit of work done right now. Buddy Sully, he would love to get his car back out there. We've seen Sully take stages before. That is a driver that could get back into that front, and we'd like to see him do that. But after that caution that came on lap 18, we are running 150 laps. Remember, we do have 2 stages here. Both stages will be signified with a caution, so that the drivers will have that opportunity to think about tires, gas, and what other strat that they would like. Today we are racing 165 laps at Dover, so we will see those caution stage breaks at lap 50 and lap 100. These guys racing hard. Remember, when you get into the chase, everybody in the chase starts over. You get your 1,000 points, you get your playoff points, and the top 5.
In the infield on the pace car lap there. Not sure
Maybe
what
he was
happened
demonstrating. I think he was demonstrating what happened to him earlier for his teammates.
All right,
he said, look, I was down there.
I'm going to go run, check on the truck real quick. Got to park it, and then I'll be right back. So I'll hurry up and be right back.
All right. Real life always coming in as we have everything going on. And remember, fans, if you like what you're seeing right now, please take this opportunity, hit that like button. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Your watching allows us to do this, gives the drivers also the opportunity to compete out here for your entertainment. If you got a driver that you like, go ahead, give him a shout. Take this chance right now, type your favorite driver's name into the chat. Tell him, hey, right now, look up front. That's that 44 of Chris Cornette. Go, Chris, go. Whoever's your guy, go ahead and give him a shout right now. These drivers love to watch it. They're going to go back later, analyze the tape, see where they made mistakes and where they can improve. and they'll love to see the shout out you give them. Looking at that front row, we're going to see Cornette and Walton is your front row. Third place, Jonathan Quesabir, and next to him, Aaron Espy is in that 13. Jonathan Quesabir, another guy I spoke to earlier, he does have enough races to qualify, but his finishes have been speckled with good and bad, so he's going to be in a win and you're in situation. Jonathan really targeting, he told me, that Daytona race. That's the 13th race of the regular season. So that number 6, he'd love to take a win wherever he can, but that Daytona, that's somebody we're going to need to pay attention to up on that super speedway. The lights are off the pace car as they are being led around. We are expecting them to go green on this next go through the Geico restart zone. And Chris Cornette in the 44, he's the car on the outside. He will have control. The pace car is off as we are expecting Cornette to lead the pack. Let's see what kind of strategy he uses as he goes into that restart zone. Will he gun it or will he roll it? Oh, he waited till the last second, guns it. Look at that lead. Cornette crosses the start-finish line with a really good lead over the pack. Side by side, you can see Walton and the 53 of Bollinger. Walton's going to take that second, and Jonathan Quesabir in second. Walton behind him in third, the 53 of Bollinger in fourth. So I said Quesabir is a super speedway racer, and what does he do? He immediately pushes himself up into second place and says, Mean Gene. I'm going to show you what it is right now, and push himself right up into the conversation for the win. Right now, though, Chris Cornette, he is in the lead. 23 laps right now that he has burned on these tires. Yes, we have had a caution, but at some point these tires are going to tighten up, and it will be fascinating to see exactly what effect it has on the drivers. We could fade back a little bit, and you can see the 7 and the 57 coming into contact right there. The 07, I apologize, let's be more specific.
That's unfortunate, Mean Gene, because that's Tommy Fox, someone that you're really looking forward to watching tonight. He gets up into the wall, it's going to get some damage there.
Yeah, that was not good. He got involved with the 07. Those two guys wanting and needing clean runs today. It's Fred Lister. He's in his 6th start here, and that damage kind of pushes him back. Hey, and there's the 7 of Kevin Bauer right in front of him, but he was not the car involved. That's a nice group of cars racing right there. Yeah, you can see on that replay, KK, just a little bit of contact.
Yeah.
Seems like Tommy's going to keep that thing moving in the right direction.
And we got a big battle right here, 971 and Nate Maurer and Kyle Lynott and Lynn and 988 and Matt Novella. These three are battling out real tight right here.
We've seen those names together before, KK. Did it remind me how it ends?
Yeah, but it's just the top 10. These guys are always battling out in the top. They're the cream of the crop here right now. So great to catch this action early in the race here.
Yeah, I really enjoy seeing these guys race. They know each other. A lot of these guys, their roots can go all the way back to racing on a console as well in the NASCAR Heat Series. So they are highly familiar with each other. Not surprised to see them continue to find each other on the racetrack. Little side by side up there for second and third. Quesabir and Bollinger still trying to figure out who's going to win that battle. They need to get back into a single file situation, KK. That can't be good for your tires.
No, it's not good. It just slows you down. It's not gonna, I mean, it's hard on your tires if you push it through, but looks like Quesabir's gonna let the 53 get on by, and like you said, Mean Gene's just gonna be a little more efficient, and it's not worth his time battling them right now.
You know, discretion is the better part of valor, and I think that's what we see from Jonathan right there. We said that he's had some speckled finishes, good and bad, and he definitely learned you don't need to be battling for the win on lap 25 of a lap 150 race. And I wondered if that's what's going on with David Cook. You know, we look back a little bit farther. Cook was running up in the front most of this race. Suddenly we see him back in that 10th position, chasing down Kyle Lynn, the two blue cars. And you're wondering, is David Cook having issues, or is he just kind of taking his time? He did pit earlier, but a 5.4-second pit, I'm thinking he probably just took gas, right?
Yeah, with a stop that slow, especially with these wheels as compared to the next gen cars, you got 5 lug nuts compared to 1. So definitely with that time, it's going to be just fuel. As the Alex McQuarter has to let out before he gets into the back of the 71. But here comes Alex McQuarter with the inside run on the 71 coming into this next turn. Going to use Kyle Lanat as a pick, and here comes the 15 with his tires a little bit underneath him as he makes the pass. Great job by the 15, and now the 11's looking to make a pass on the 71 also at this time. But I think David's going to be a little more patient.
What's happening with that group? And look at that 15 continues his push. You know, the 15 of Alex McQuarter, he's another car that has enough starts to qualify for the chase, but the points for him haven't exactly been right. You know, he's in 19th in points. And I talked to him earlier, and he's starting to feel like he needs to win to get in. There's still a lot of points to be gained in the stages, but McQuarter said he really is starting to feel the heat, feels like his back is against the wall. That's a guy we might see take some chances later in a race to get the win. The 15 of Alex McQuarter, that's somebody we should definitely keep an eye on today.
Yeah, Mean Gene, definitely well said. He looks like a man on the mission right now as he's made his way through, but he's got to be careful with the tire wear as he continues to make his push as he goes by Sean Walton right now at this moment. And now he's got Nate Maurer in his sights.
Nate Maurer, that is our series leader. 4 wins on the season for Nate. He's got 3 just in the last 7 weeks. That guy is on fire. I think Nate is definitely biding his time right now this early in the race. I got to tell you, KK, I didn't know about that rule that MRL had about, you know, if you're in too many incidents, you're going to get a drive-through, then you're going to get booted. But it looks like a lot of drivers taking their time. We got 32 cars in the field tonight, and it looks like a lot of guys are taking their time and just letting the cars go by if they're clearly faster. I'm liking this style of racing.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, definitely a tale of the seasons right now, but they're racing real clean right now, and there we see this 15 getting by case of beer. But yeah, with all these cars on the track, and especially at Dover, they're doing a great job of keeping everything under control.
Yep, gotta love it. Wednesday night Xfinity live on MRL Broadcasting here on YouTube. Really exciting racing as we are closing in on the final regular season races. This is race 11, so only 3 opportunities left for somebody not named David Owens, David Cook, or Nate Maurer to get a win and force their way into the chase. And of course, contact. Looks like, was that McQuarter got cut down very low? Did McQuarter make contact by that inside wall?
You know what? I have to rewind there, Mean Gene, and take a look at what happened. But give me 1 second, Mean Gene. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. So, still having some strong racing there. We saw McQuarter on the charge hard. Looks like his car might have got a little bit loose. And the caution is out. Caution is out. MRL has rigidly stuck to calling a caution when the pace is off. If enough cars in the front slow down significantly where it becomes a danger to a majority of the field, that speed discrepancy, they will cause the caution. We don't see any cars right now down below the apron, so I think this might be one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and look, Mean Gene, see if I can pick anything up here. Looks like Hunter Manley got up in the outside wall. And yeah, I think let's take a look at Hunter here. He had some trouble. I think he might have broke something on his steering, and that's why they're giving him time to get that car off the track and not cause any further incident here.
Yeah, and you can see Joseph Amato behind him. Joseph top 5 in points.
Oh man, Mean Gene. Didn't look too good there for Joe Amato.
No, Joe Amato, he is Joe is number 2 in incident points, that is, and I think that he's going to continue to try to climb up that leaderboard. Amato also is 4th, though, in points as well. He is that number 4 car, number 4 in points driver. Hate to see him involved in another incident as he is securing his position as captain of T-Bone Racing with that incident.
And
right
we're going to
there.
keep an eye on Alex McWhorter. Like you said, maybe something else happened with him, but I'm going to fast forward, see if we just catch anything with him because I'm not sure what brought out that yellow.
It did look like a car, either him or that orange 971.
I think it was Hunter. Maybe Hunter you saw in the 26 was the one that had the damage, because I think he's the only one that hit that outside wall really hard, caused a lot of damage to that vehicle.
Painful to watch. So we're going to see them take this opportunity for some of these cars to go in the pits. KK, remind me again the button to reset my top 35 standings.
I think it's going to be Control Shift R, but it's going to reset anytime they go across the start finish line on this. So it might be out of whack. It might be out of whack till they cross the finish line.
No, mine is acting funny. It's telling me people are like 20 laps down, and that's just not possible.
No, I have Thomas Fox minus 15, Hunter Manley down 5, and Bryson Dotson -1 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to have to update this afterwards because it gives me the top 19 correctly, and then after that, it just gets fruity.
Interesting.
It gets wild.
We
are on lap 41 here under caution. Chris Cornett is still your leader, somebody that we said needed a strong finish, said he might have got the short end of the stick last week, but right now he's the one carrying the stick, and he might need it because Joseph Amato is being shown in second next to him. He might need that stick to keep Amato from finding his tailpipe.
Yeah, he better be looking out that rear view mirror, making sure he knows where Amato is, because Amato's very aggressive here, not willing to give anyone a break here. Not that it was his fault. The 26 was real slow and he was trying to find his way around, and 26 kind of just couldn't make up his mind if he wanted to go high or low, and Joe was on a mission there and just got into him there. So it'd be a great restart.
Joe helped him make that decision, didn't he?
He sure did.
He said, "You're going to take the low line with your broken broken tie rod right there."
All right, it looks like the pace car lights are off.
I think I just heard the words green, white checker for this stage finish.
Oh, all right. Well, good ears there, Mean Gene. Thanks for updating us there on the stage break here. So, all right, we got a shootout till the end of the stage here.
One lap to green. You could see the lights on that pace car are off. People to keep an eye on. Chris Cornett, who's led this thing. Joe Amato, who has used that front end to get into the second position. Alex McWhorter, he needs stage points, and he needs a win. Colin Bollinger, Nate Maurer, Jonathan Casabir, hungry drivers up there in those front three rows. And behind them, a pack of hyenas that'll eat each other, and they're young to find their way into stage points. Pace car is off. The 44 of Cornett on the outside is going to be the control car as they come up on that Geico restart zone. Let's see how he handles it. Oh, I love that slow roll start, KK.
Yeah, very nicely done. 44 is way out to the races right now as the 53 Bowling are going to have to chase him down with Amato in tow. So Amato falls back to P3. Great restart, Joe, by the 53 to get that extra spot. And here comes Alex McWhorter, another man on a mission, cutting his way up to the field. Now he's starting out of 4, so we'll see what he can do as we got a little bit of contact further behind the field with the 23, the 6, and the 56 going 3 wide here. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out, Mean Gene, as we got him down in the infield. Is that going to bring out a yellow?
Saves it.
It's going to bring out a yellow there, Mean Gene.
Oh, and you could see Walton just came into that corner, I think, a little bit hot, and that got Casabir loose. And then whoever that is, who's in that black? Is that the number 30?
I think it's a 29.
Again, that car is so dark, I just cannot see it.
But Casabir does a great job holding on to it after that contact.
Yeah, that's Justin Parham. So you can see Casabir, Walton just came in, I think, a little hot, got Casabir loose, and then when it went 3 wide, that became real difficult. Everybody managed to keep it going. Let's see what the race officials are going to do if they're going to have him finish under caution. It was a wild finish right there.
All right, Joseph Volpus stays out along with David Cook. That looks like the number 3, the 03 staying out, Don Francisco.
I'm going to take this opportunity to pull in one of the MRL officials and find out if they are going to award this to Cornette. I think they're going to, but I just want to double check before I make that call for the viewers at home. I'm just going to scoot that over here, and here we go. And David Owens, so I got your buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we're going to finish that under caution. Is that correct? Making Chris Cornette your stage winner?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
All right. That was exciting at the end there. I think they just got a little bit loose, went 3 wide, wouldn't let y'all race for it. But it is official. You hear it here from David Owens, one of our MRL officials, that it is going to be Chris Cornette. All right, David, I'm going to put you back up there and see if I can hunt down Chris.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, brother.
Yes.
Let's do some more hunting. There he is. Oh, he's up there in a channel by himself. I guess when you're in first, it's a lonely place to be, right, KK?
That's it, Mean Gene. There's only room for one at the top.
There can be only one. Hey, Chris Cornette. Mean Gene Money here with KK. You got your ears on?
Yes, sir, I do.
Oh, buddy, you said you needed some stage wins and maybe a win. How about that one, huh?
Oh, that was. I didn't want to see that caution in the first place. I didn't know if Joseph or the 15 Alex had fresh tires or not. So I was like, if they get a good jump on me, it's over with. But
nobody's getting a jump on you. You're slow rolling that restart, and you're shooting out of that thing like a cannon.
yeah, no, I just trying not to spin my tires and wreck everybody. So with old tires here on restarts, that's easy to do. Spin your tires.
Well, I'll tell you what, you ain't spinning anything right now except the heads of fans watching you pilot that 44 to the front. All right, my friend, I'm going to send you back up. I just wanted to give you a shout and say thanks for a heck of a race so far. Keep it going straight.
I appreciate it. Hope to be talking to y'all at the end.
Oh, yeah.
All right, great job there, Mean Gene, as Phil gets set. And the Chris Cornette's going to be starting off, looks like in 5th position, going to be side by side with Colin Bollinger. So we got the 2 rookies head right next to each other, going to start this off. And you got Christopher Knott ahead, the number 13 of Aaron Espy. David Cook going to be on the outside line, and Joseph Volpus going to be leading that inside line into the Geico restart zone.
We are expecting to see some heavy racing. Remember, there are 2 stages that award points each race, but hey, with only 3 races left in the season, there's only 6 stages, and we just saw one of them. So these guys know there's only a few opportunities left to get those ever important points, and they're all wanting to be the guy that's on top. Joe Volpus, 98 car on the inside is your control car, and look at that, David Cook on the outside. I don't know, KK, is it ever a good idea to let David Cook start on the outside?
No, that's his sweet spot. So everybody needs to look out.
Yeah, if you're wondering, when you're swinging a baseball bat, right where it says Louisville Slugger, that's where you want the ball to hit. Well, right now, David Cook is in the Louisville Slugger spot. Here we go. Pace cars off. That 98 of Joe Volpus on the inside control car. Let's see how he handles this restart. We saw Cornette do the late jump. Volpus in the middle. He got a good little tap from the 13 of Aaron Espy, and that pushed him out of there like the cannonball guy at the carnival.
Yeah, great job there by Joe, even though David, we got the 13 down low, trying to get back up on track. That's not going to be good, as he's going to lose all those positions, or maybe he has to serve a penalty. No, I'm not sure what he's doing there, Mean Gene.
Well, he had one job, I guess, and that was to push Joe Volpus. That mission was accomplished, and now he can light that cigar and take the rest of the race off. But still, let's look up front, and you can see David Cook not impressed by that restart of Volpus.
Yellow flag.
And he's going to try to chase him down.
Yellow flag.
A kickity caution. Kickity caution here. Didn't even make it around once.
The 3.
Ouch. It looks like he ate up one of the Napa cars as well.
All right, let's see where this all happened here. Mean Gene, looks like it's going to be the number 3. We'll go to the Choppa and see what took place here.
And Vulpes is going to take that opportunity to head right into the pits. I guess he led his lap. He's happy, and he's going to make some touch-ups. Look at the 3.
Larry Johnson gets into the back end of the 3 and sends them.
Well, I wonder. I did talk to Larry Johnson last week, and he told me he's got 2 modes. The one is chill, and one is kill. And I wonder if that was an accident or if it was kill mode. We'll have to ask Mr. Freeze later exactly what happened in that incident.
Yeah,
but
so
one thing is for sure. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying Bobby Dawson gets some damage there off of that hit off the right front and some other cars there. So
you think that back left end came like that from the showroom floor?
No, that's the aftermarket part.
Oh, and now you got the right front to match it.
And the 30 takes damage there. He's already a lap down, and just to add insult to injury there in the Klondike bar.
Yep. Steve Bryan, New England driver, needing a good showing today. We can see he is in the pit. Looks like the hood is off, and I don't mean the crew took it off. I meant that thing is just off.
That's right, Michi.
And I don't see anybody working on it, just a lot of people staring at each other. Never a good sign. Remember, no quick repairs here in Wednesday night Xfinity racing. There are 5 sets of tires, 1 to start with and 4 in the pits. So we can see a lot of strategy surrounding fuel and tires. But as far as the damage to your car goes, it's ball peen hammers and duct tape trying to keep these things on the track. Right now you can see the 21 getting him back out there. And after Vulpes took that pit opportunity, he'll push back into 12th, and that's going to make our new leader David Cook, and right next to him Chris Cornett. So I guess it's Cook's turn to return the favor as the control car and see what he can do to Chris Cornett.
Yeah, we'll see which line David picks. I think our leader's been picking inside lane most restarts here, so we'll see what he picks out. As got another parade lap or 2 before we go back green.
Nate Maurer also making his way up to the front. Nate, he's got 3 wins in the last 7 races, 4 total on the season. He's that 971 orange DSR electric car. Jonathan Quesabir, little bit of an incident with him earlier going 3 wide with Sean Walton, but he has managed to pilot that number 6 Chevrolet back into 4th place. 3rd row, Andrew Bolander, Dave Kirkpatrick in that Miller Genuine Draft car. Behind them, the Rooster, Robert Babcock and Christopher Smorell. That is row 4, and row 5, Alex McWhorter and Kyle Lynn. So those are your top 5 rows. Those are the guys that could make a quick jump. Behind them, tons of veterans. You know, a name we haven't said tonight, KK, that's really David Owens. Haven't talked about him much.
No, he's been almost caught up in some incidents, but he's made it through cleanly. So I think he's just being patient and keeping those sets of tires for later, probably.
Could be. We'll have to see. You know, he did go almost 2 laps down and then came back and won last week at Iowa. And he also has 2 wins in the last 7 races. So we'll see. But somebody else who's got 2 wins in the last 7 races is your current leader, David Cook. So we'll see exactly what Cook can do as he has control over the field. And I'm shocked. I don't know what to do. David Cook voluntarily choosing the bottom lane. I feel like there's an anomaly. If we reached, is this a Mandela effect situation, KK?
There must be something advantage the inside lane, as we're going to see right now as they hit the Geico restart zone. See what David Cook can do here.
And he starts in the middle, and guess which way he's going to go? He's going to take it right up into that preferred lane. Good start by Cornett as he keeps tight with Cook. And you can see behind them Nate Maurer 3rd, and then a little bit of the old side-by-side for Quesabir and Andrew Bolander. Babcock all the way back, a little bit of side-by-side, and then there's your pack of Hornets. I don't know who stuck a stick in the Hornets' nest, but they did it, and those guys are buzzing like bees coming after the cars in front of them. really exciting racing here on this restart. This is lap 55 of a 150 lap race, but we're going to keep an eye on what happens at lap 100 because that's when they're going to give out some stage points. Nice side-by-side racing right here, KK.
Oh, yep, they're doing a great job there. Everyone's being real aggressive for every spot on the track as we see Steve Lewis getting underneath Joseph Wolpus, see if he can complete that pass. And further back here comes Owens, almost getting to the back end of the 89. Lets off just in time as now the 11 and the 23 are side by side coming into this turn.
I had a little bit of pucker in myself right there, and it was not because of the bourbon. Really exciting action back there as the 89 and the 11 got awful close. And they start to go single file now. And this, I think, has been the story of Dover. There really is a preferred line, and these cars want to get into that thing as quickly as possible, and then just take that opportunity when the tires get loose and you drift up a little high to just zip right on under. It's not a slide job per se, but it's just having better tires and making your car go straight faster. Really good run there. Owens right now, he's got Joseph Amato behind him, David Brenner in front of him, and then you can see that side-by-side action right behind the 11 of David Owens, and that's going to be Espy and Christopher Knott in the 69. Good racing right here at Dover.
Here comes Buddy Sally trying to follow the 48 through, but he's not going to be able to get done this time by.
And look at that cut down. So these guys are taking shots right now here early in the run. Some of these guys are working on fresher tires. You can see those 14-second pit stops by drivers like Cornette and Maurer. A 21-second stop by Robert Babcock. I guess he got 4 tires and got out and got a soft drink while he was down there.
Yeah, David Cook just told probably the number 3, thanks for letting me by, as he makes short work of that lap car. And Chris Cornette now just about up 1.7 seconds back of the leader.
I do see we've had a couple of cars park it behind the trailer. Looks like the 32 of Bobby Dodson has parked his car, and also the 30 of Stephen Bryan as well. So a couple of guys that have just parked those cars, and I guess they'll be watching this thing on the broadcast moving forward. Ooh,
Yeah.
A little contact there by Vulpus and Owens, Vulpus and Steve Lewis, as they're side by side right now. Vulpus is running on that low line in that purple Crown Royal car. Drink a real beer, drink real booze, Joe. Get off that Canadian stuff. And now Lewis ends up side by side with Bollinger in that 53. So really scary, exciting. That was scary and exciting as we saw Lewis almost take a ride.
Yeah, he almost did there. Bollinger got right into that left rear quarter fender and almost turned Steve, but Steve did a great job of keeping control of that car.
I heard the screaming though, and that wasn't over the mic. I think that just echoed through the streets of Delaware. Steve Lewis. You know, that Fanatec wheel, he just upgraded to that Fanatec. I think that might have saved him. Because if you did that to me on my Logitech, I'm just going to hear the gears grind, and I'm going to go right into that inside wall like Noah Craigson.
That's right, me, Gene. You got to get used to your equipment and get it dialed in, and then just be consistent from there in as we watch the 56 looking to get underneath the 5 of Smorl at the moment.
Really strong racing right here. These guys battling for position. And these guys that you see in the top 10, they all need positions. Matt Novella, he's 14th in points right now. He does have an 11-point lead over the next driver, Stephen Neal, but there's nothing to say that your spot is secured. There's 32 drivers in this field. If you wreck early in a race, you're suddenly going to lose 20 points regardless of what you do the next week. So they can't take those chances. And being this early in the race, we're only on lap 64. If you go down right now, you're going to really drop back those laps. So these guys have got to drive with confidence yet patience. And I think right now the 98 of Vulpus coming up on that group, chasing Novella and Smorl. He's going to have to take his time. He does not want to get too close and get involved in something that spins out of control.
And that
Look behind
group's
him, dude. Those guys are tight.
Yeah, and right now they're making their way past the number 3 of Don Francisco there. He had earlier damage, unfortunately, and the pack looks he's going to stay high, and everyone's going to go underneath here, or at least try to.
Yeah, Nicholas Don Francesco, he does not want a piece of that right now. He's out here getting points, and maybe this thing can come back to him later if there's a few cautions. He can get a little bit of repair to, on each of those pit stops under the caution, but for now he just needs to get out of the way and let these guys do their thing.
Yeah, what a move there by the 963 going underneath Joseph Amato. What an aggressive move there by him, as now here comes the Scotty Estep looking underneath, trying to make a move also.
The 963, that's chill or kill himself, Mr. Freeze, Larry Johnson. You don't want to mess around. He's got 2 modes, and right now we're seeing one, maybe a third mode, which is advance through the field. That 963 making some strong moves, as he definitely needs a strong showing. I got him in 21st at the moment, so he's going to need to make up some spots as quick as he can.
Yeah, that's right there, Mean Gene. As Scotty Estep and Christopher Knott look to clear this 963. Buddy, looks like Buddy got up in a wall there a little bit. It's going to have a little bit of damage, or slow him down quite a bit. That wall, you get in the wall, it really does slow you down.
Yeah, sometimes they say in football the sideline is the 12th man. I think right now that outside wall here at Dover is definitely giving the assist on a few of these passes. You tap that wall 2-3 times. I mean, you might even need to start worrying about that right front going flat, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you can definitely cut that down here with these steel bodies. You got to be very careful with those tires, very close to the fender well. So, yeah, a lot of things to go wrong there, getting into that wall too many times.
Yeah, not the way you'd want to end your race, by going up into the wall, especially of your own. I won't say your own volition, but if nobody's helping you go up in there, it's kind of on you. I could see more wall contact back behind there. Fred Lister, he might have gone up and checked to see if the wall was still there. Guess what, Fred? It was. You don't need to check, I can assure you from the booth. That thing is real. Oh, and there's a little cut down right there by the 07 as well. Started to wonder if these cars are starting to suffer the effects of these tires starting to get a little bit slick.
Yeah, it looks like Joseph Amato is heading the wrong way right now, so he could be a part of that whole conversation there, Mean Gene.
Mm-hmm. And you can see that orange, because that
Hunter Oso Manley in the 26.
Hunter Manley, he might have told Amato he was the number 1 on the way by. I didn't see exactly where his fingers were located, but those two guys had an earlier conversation.
All right. Well, hey, Chris Cornett has caught back up to our leader, David Cook. So wondering if this is more of a David managing his tires and letting him creep up slowly, or if Chris is going to have more of a long green flag run advantage over David Cook at the moment.
Well, David Cook, he has run the fastest lap here today at Dover, but Cornett did run a faster lap than him to close that gap, and no sooner do we say that than you see Cook run a very similar lap time to Cornett. So I think you might be onto something there, KK, saying he was just kind of conserving. But here you can see just how close they are. We got that in-car cam of the 44 trying to chase down David Cook. Okay, David Cook on the outside there. He is in Cook's lane. And Cornett, maybe he's going to take this opportunity first to hit the wall, but then afterwards to cut down. Really strong decision by Cornett. Let's see if he can slide up. He does, and he takes the lead. Great camera work, KK.
Oh, thank you, sir. As Cornett takes the lead there from David Cook, you're just wondering if maybe David burnt up his stuff a little bit, or if he's got a more of a long-term strategy play there in the number 71. And we'll have to keep an eye on Nate Maurer's time, as he was over 3 seconds, but he's cutting that lead down as we speak. He's got it under 2.5 seconds, so we'll have to keep an eye on Nate.
Yeah, Nate Maurer, another guy. You're never surprised to see him lurking in the background, ready to pounce just as quickly as you think it's safe. How about Andrew Bolander and the Rooster Babcock right there behind Maurer? Those two guys having really a great run. I'll tell you what, if I'm going to follow somebody around this track and conserve fuel and tires, I can't think of a better candidate than Nate Maurer.
No, Mean Gene, that's definitely right. You can learn a lot from Nate if you can keep him in your front windshield.
a little bit further back, I'm also keeping an eye on the battle between McWhorter and the 27 of David Kirkpatrick. That's for 6th place. McWhorter, he needs to make his way back up into the top 5. In fact, stage points would be lovely for him, but he has got to find a way into victory lane. He said he felt the pressure, and right now he's driving like a man on a mission. That's that 15 we're looking at, and you can see just how close he comes to the 27. They come into the corner. McWhorter lets off, trying to get a better run out of that apex, and you can see just how close he is. This is a battle I think we're going to see develop over the next half lap.
Yeah, and you can see further up in the field, you can see Nate Maurer catching the top 2, Cook and Cornette. So definitely think they've conserved their tires for this long run. As now we're going to take a look at David Cook and company, and Nate Maurer has that lead to about 2.5 at the moment.
He's clicking it away. Looks like Bolander's going to take the point for that group as well, just for a little bit. As we are clicking away, we got 19 laps remaining. We just hit lap 82 marker. Ooh, look, on that 15 and that 27, they are side by side. And finally, Kirkpatrick is going to back off and let McWhorter go in there. McWhorter almost touched the apron a couple of times to hold that bottom lane. And I think Dave Kirkpatrick knew that Alex just was not going to give it up. And he decided at that point to let him go by. You know, Alex also, he's got a fiery spirit in him. Earlier this week, I heard Colin Bollinger and Larry Johnson having a conversation. Alex was passing by in the hallway, and he did not miss the opportunity to take a shot at Colin Bollinger, which I thought was quite humorous. In the end, all of the people involved did have a good laugh out of it. But Alex McWhorter never one to shy away from an argument or a one-liner. Look how quickly he closed up on that 8.
Yeah, and here comes the 2 underneath Nate Maurer for a pass of the Rooster.
Yeah, the Rooster, he is just in this thing collecting points right now. If your car is not going to win the stage, you just kind of want to do a triage effort. Keep it on the track, save your tires, and just move, lose as few spaces as possible. McWhorter with another pass. That is a car on the move. I got to start wondering about his tires, though. Caution on the track, KK.
All right, let's see what happened there, Mean Gene. Oh, Chris Morrow.
No. Up into Vulpes. Did he? Looks like he hit the apron.
I know what our thumbnail is going to be for our YouTube screenshot. So let's see
Oh my, Joe Vulpes. He did not need that to happen.
Sean Walton gets into the back of Chris, which sends him down the track. Let's take another shot at this in real time. Keep your eye on 23 and the 5.
Oh no, and he comes right back. And like Brad Keselowski, womp womp, just continues down the field, and the carnage chaos rules behind him.
Take another look at it here. We'll do the slow motion for it, since we got some time to kill.
He says, "Hey, you got a little something on your bumper. Let me just here, I got it for you." And you can see the 5 come down. And he says, "Oh, I could just come back up. It's clear, right?"
You can see Chris's wheels turned hard to the left, trying to avoid this, but
hey, you ever wondered what the undercarriage looks like? Unfortunate, boy, oh boy. Hey, let's give a shout out to Lucas Oil, because I know the 5 just did.
The 4.
And there it is. My, oh my. And hey, there goes another hood.
Got hoods for sale. All right.
Wow,
So we got,
wow. And I can hear on that radio chat, KK, Smorell not taking, seems like there's going to be a little bit of disciplinary action at Smorell right now by MRL officials. And I can hear Smorell. He is sharing his opinion. Sean Walton He's also chiming in. So this is a heated conversation that they're having. We're on lap 87. There's 13 laps to go until we reach the end of stage 2. So things are getting heated here, KK. I'm going to pull out some chicken and roast it because there's a fire burning in a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, 10-4. I didn't see what might have transpired before all that action, so not hard to tell what exactly happened before that, but that's definitely going to end first tomorrow's day.
Yeah, no quick repairs, remember. So these guys, unfortunately, being stuck into the pits. And hey, look at that. Just like magic, all of a sudden, my top 35 seems to be working. I'm really happy. I can talk about those things now, KK.
Well, hey, it's the miracle of technology, Mean Gene, and glad you were able to get that straightened out.
Yeah, I'd send you a text, but my Nokia just won't do that.
That's it for.
Volpus being shown. Looks like Volpus is trying to stay on that lead lap. He is milking that car around as he was the hammer and Smurrell was the nail. Painful end of Smurrell's day. He's still trying to milk it around, but Smurrell 2 laps down right now on my now working top 35.
Yeah, Chris's car is gonna definitely need lots of time for repair, so we'll see if he sticks it out and puts it back on track or if he's gonna call it a day. But the laps are just gonna continue to pile up there on Chris. And Joseph Volpus only a lap down. I think like he said, Mean Gene trying to just milk that car around and not get too many more laps down, but it's gonna be tough. He's gonna be definitely off pace maybe with that damage, that shot he took.
How'd Sean Walton do out of that whole thing? I see he did come into the pits, but he only had a 5.6 second pit stop. So whatever Walton's part was in that incident, it was not enough for him to do any repairs. 5.6 seconds, that looks like he took some fuel and ran.
Yeah, Mean Gene, definitely looks like that's what happened. No EOL being assessed to him either, so we'll have to see how this pans out, or maybe he is going to EOL.
And look, right when we say it, sure enough, Walton given the EOL for his part in that incident. Hopefully Smurrell has been vindicated. It looked like, yeah, he came back up on the track, but like you said, his wheels were all the way to the left, and once you hit that apron, you're just kind of along for the ride, aren't you?
Yeah, you definitely are. Knowing Chris, he wouldn't try to wreck on purpose or nothing like that. He did his best to keep it under control. As we're back under green, Mean Gene, as we missed the restart. We got an accident off the yellow.
Not Joe again.
We missed the Mean Gene. So it's under yellow. Let's take a look back at what happened. All right. Trying to get caught back up, Mean Gene. I don't know if you can help find it too, because this is a mess right now.
All right, I've got Cornet as
Okay,
my
here we
leader, and he was bringing him around.
Okay, and then I know it happens further back in the pack.
Looks like Parham. Parham eases up a little bit.
Oh, it happens right in front of Owens. Matt Novella, I believe. So let's take a look at Matt. Rewind it here.
Oh, poor Matty. Is that Justin Parham right behind him?
Okay, Kyle.
Oh, the two of Babcock got off the pace. Look at that gap.
It's the 27 and the 2 might have stacked up the field. Let's
see. The 27 could have spun coming out of that because look how off the pace he is.
He goes right into the outside wall.
Wow. So it looks like that whole rogue just spun tires and didn't go anywhere.
I mean, Gene, that's exactly what it looks like there, Mean Gene. See if we get a better look at this.
I've done that before. Not
Me
from
too.
the third row, from the back, of course, but I've done that on a restart.
Yeah, I've done it too.
Ooh, and
the
it
chain
just
reaction.
Poor Novella into Owens. Steve Lewis, unfortunate. The 13, he's caught up into that mess. None of these drivers responsible for the incident, and yet they're still getting caught up into it. Another caution here on lap 92. MRL officials doing their best to sort out what happened. I mean, can you really assign an EOL on cars spinning?
I mean, it's a gray area. I think
Tires, it's not your fault.
Yeah, it's just part of racing, right? So we'll see. But it'd definitely be between David Kirkpatrick and Babcock there. So we'll have to see how they handle this.
Oh, David Owens, he's got that. He's got that middle finger sticking straight out that car. Not sure who he was angry at, but he definitely was lighting somebody in. Yeah. Kyle Lynn on the radio right now talking about the rooster Robert Babcock. So really getting heated right now, KK. We are getting heated here at Dover.
Yeah, they're gonna have to get this thing straightened out with the tempers, because there's no room for tempers out on the track at Dover. Like you said, Mean Gene, it's tough already racing too wide, and start racing with an attitude or angry, and it's not going to turn out well.
No, one thing's for sure, though. They have given the opportunity for the cooler-headed drivers to make their way up into the front. As right now, Chris Cornett, he is back in that number one position. Looks like he's going to choose that outside lane. But right under him, he's got Nate Maurer. And Nate has just been taking these wins like candy from a baby. Chris Cornett, though, he's no baby. He's ready to fight. He felt like victory was robbed from him last week. So I think he's got his dukes up and he's ready to play ball. Cornett, Maurer, front row. Andrew Bolander, Robert Babcock, the rooster. He's on the outside of row 2. Let's keep an eye on him and see what happens if any of those Gulf Coast teammates get close to him. It seemed like Babcock got a lot of the wrath of that Gulf Coast racing team from that restart incident that we just saw causing this caution. Kyle Lynn, Dave Kirkpatrick. Really great day for Dave Kirkpatrick. That 27, he's been running up in the front most of the day.
Yeah, he was having a real great day until he also spun the tires and drove into the outside wall. So Dave, see if he didn't do too much damage to that car and get a good restart here.
He's back, though. All right, EOL's coming out. Looks like the 13 of Aaron Espy and the 26 of Hunter Manley are going to be receiving EOLs in the mail. They're not going to enjoy it, but hey, we're still early in the race. It's only going to take them out of this stage contention. I say that, but we're a couple of cautions away from who knows who's back in contention, right?
That's right, Mean Gene.
Only 20 cars being shown right here in this pack right now. There must be some folks in the pits.
Yeah, looks like there's 24 on the lead lap right now. Kevin Brower in the 7 is going to be your first car on the lead lap. I mean, on the first car lap down, along with Steve Lewis.
Pace car is off. Remember, the 44 or Cornett on the outside is going to be your control car. The 971 of Nate Maurer, our points leader behind him. Let's see how Cornett handles it. Look at that jump. And then Babcock on the outside. Doesn't spin it this time. Ooh, look at the gap, though. Lynn leaving the 27 of Kirkpatrick in the dust. That lets David Owens and the 53 of Colin Bollinger get underneath. Ouch, Kirkpatrick really struggling with that car right now.
Yeah, he's not going fast enough. Parham gives him a little pump in the back and it almost crashes him again there. Not again, but almost makes another crash.
Look at the 71. He's like, hey, Kirkpatrick, why are you in Cook's lane? You can't be up here. You need to go somewhere, not here. Cook forced to let off. That cost him some momentum. Yellow flag. Are you threatening me with a yellow flag? We did not get another one.
Did we not? Am I?
Oh, no, you got it.
Okay.
I'm being silly.
Oh, okay. You're okay. I couldn't find it. Not sure what the yellows for there, Mean Gene. Is a stage?
I hit previous crash and it's showing me the the bridge.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened on that restart, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. As we are back under caution, as you can tell, they've caught the pace car, but yeah, not sure what exactly transpired there. Could have been caution, right? I mean, a stage.
That's lap 97. There's no way, especially
Okay.
after they did that.
F4.
Go back and look at what happens to the 53 of Bollinger coming across that start-finish. Or
Okay.
if that was the last one.
So here's the 29, the 27 is real slow, gets hit from behind by the 27, and then now we're watching the 53 of Bowliner side by side with Owens.
No, I guess they did make it clean. That was the previous wreck then. But I have a strong feeling maybe they called it just because of speed. Maybe the 27 was off the pace so much they needed to get him out of there.
Well, we'll be here all day if they keep throwing cautions like this, so they need to get this thing straightened out. And because we got to do more stage breaks. But that's another conversation for another day. As we look at our leader, is going to be the Rooster. He's going to bring it in, though, the pit. So,
and speaking of the pits, looks like the 5 of Christopher Smurrell has parked it, and he will be done for the day.
yeah, there did not just look like there was any chance of old Chris there going to come back from that roll in that car. So that's an unfortunate break there for old Chris. Hearts go out to him, but glad he is out of the medical safety center.
Yeah, that was a tough break he took there. I don't. There was a little bit of conversation, some heated words between him and some of the other drivers. I really feel like he was tapped, went down on that apron, and not a lot that he could do with that.
And that was stage break, Mean Gene. So lap 96 was stage break. That is what the yellow was for.
There we go.
Getting notified there by Jax, our race control. Thank you, Jax, for that.
They gave it to.
No idea. No idea.
Okay, and I don't see Jax in the Discord either, so I can't even ask him. And somebody else who disappeared from the Discord quickly, Christopher Smurrell. I guess he did not want to talk about what just happened to him, because I'd have loved to have gotten his input.
Yeah,
in that
10-4.
series
We
of
need
events.
to probably grab them beforehand or while they're in the pit when we can think of it.
So we're going to pull in a different MRL official. Hey, David Owens. Mean Gene up here. You got your brother?
Yes, sir.
So it looks like we're going to go ahead and take this stage break under caution. Who is awarded that?
Chris Cornett won that one on that one-lap shootout.
Chris
Okay.
Cornett. That's a name we haven't said in forever, at least since the last stage break.
And put them back there, old Mean Gene, because the pace car lights are off and we can't
All right,
need
good
them
luck,
any
David.
more distracted.
Well, Chris Cornett, good for him. That's two-time stage winner today.
Yeah. Big point stay there for old 44.
He deserves it. I was really sad for him last week. I was expecting something big out of him. All right, so let's look up front. The pace car has its lights off. Larry Johnson, Mr. Freeze, he is running in first. Christopher Knott right next to him in that 69. Alex McWhorter, Sean Walton, Matt Novella, and Ty Killa. That's going to be your front three rows. Pace car is off. We are looking at the inside car, the 963. He controls the pace. See how he handles it in the Geico. He starts quick. Look at that. He dropped the hammer quick. He spins a little, KK. Did you see the rear end get loose?
Yeah, got a little wiggle there, but it's hard not to spin the tires in these cars. So great job there by Larry Johnson as he heads off into the backstretch here, as he's got a mean pack chasing him down here, as these drivers look like they got something to prove here.
Well, here comes Walton hard on McWhorter. McWhorter avoided the damage as Walton goes high. Look at Matt Novella on the inside running a strong third side by side with that 15 of McWhorter. David Cook, Ty Killa in that group. You can see Walton starting to fade away. Chris Cornett has made his way back up in there. He's seventh. Cornett, he's won both stages here today, and he would love to continue to put his mark on this race. Let's not forget David Cook, also in that 71, right behind that beautiful green, orange, and yellow car of Novella. He's stuck on the inside because they're in that pace, but good running right now. Really excited to see these guys with that clean restart. Another name, you got Nate Maurer and Kyle Lynn just a little bit further back in 8th and 9th. And Ty Killa has fallen into the 10th position. Let's see if Ty can get that 24 car moving back up. A little bit further back, you can see these cars have gone single file here at Dover. Lap 104 of 150 live here on MRL Broadcasting. What is that? The 963.
Oh, and David Brenner just a homing missile into him. And another yellow flag here at a short track.
Larry Johnson, Mr. Freeze. Really unfortunate. It looks like he got and then the 07 says, anything you can do, I can do better. And he just takes his car down, smashes the wall as well.
Okay, so Larry, it looks like Larry just loses the rear end there. And
and maybe there was something on the wall, because if you watch, the 07 is going to come around and pretty much replicate that action.
There's Larry. Larry gets down low, hits, and then let's take a look at the 07 of Lester. So while that crash is going on, Lester's going to get loose.
He comes around and he goes, wait a minute, what are we doing here today? Are we testing the integrity of the inside wall? Okay.
And then, okay, let's go back and watch David Brenner now. Because Brenner,
ouch.
I don't know if he got hit from the behind or what happened with Brenner. So watch the 22.
He's got that 8 of Andrew Bolander behind it.
I think David checks up for the cars in front of him, and I don't know. Let's take a look from on board.
You see the 21 directly in front of him. He hits the... oh, no! He could not have seen that guy.
No. I think that's what it was there, Mean Gene. He just came in and nailed him. Like, just on accident, didn't see him because he was slowing down for the 2 cars checking up in front of him, and just went to make a move to the left, and boom, like you saw, a car just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate. You're trying to avoid hitting cars, and if you're Larry Johnson, you know, this is what they tell you in the driver meeting. If you spin and you're pointed the wrong way, stay still and let the cars go by. You know, Larry Johnson, if he'd have started driving that car, he'd have come right back up on the track and caused more problems. And so he stays still, just like they tell you in the driver meeting. And then, unfortunately, you could see that second car is trying to make his way through the traffic, and Larry Johnson was there, and the two just met. Really unfortunate. Johnson, that rear end just kind of got away from him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Johnson. I'm not sure what happened with 07. He just looks like he made a left-hand turn into the inside wall, like you said, testing. Maybe his extra job is testing safer barrier walls on the side. But yeah, definitely unfortunate there. And then David Brenner,
I hear the city of Dover pays pretty good for its state officials, the city employees. And yeah, Fred Lester, he's going to go ahead and take that thing behind the wall. So we're going to lose the 07 of Fred Lester after that last contact that he had. Unfortunate for Fred. I think everybody, though, they're coming off the throttle as much as they can. Some of them forced to hit the brakes, and you know, if you're coming in at the wrong angle, you're just going to spin that thing around, and that's exactly what we saw, I think, happen to Fred Lester right there. Fred's a veteran driver. This is his 6th start here with the Wednesday night league. We haven't really seen a lot of incidents out of Fred, so just unfortunate series of events right there.
Yeah, and especially if you don't know what kind of brake bias these guys are running. If it's real low, any touch of the brake in a corner, you're going to lose a rear end, and so anything of that could have happened. We don't want to speculate too much, but yeah, just unfortunate there for all drivers involved.
You know, brake bias, people have a lot of trouble setting up their brake biases, but for me, it's always the same on every track, which is as high as it will go. So as high as it will go is pretty much my brake bias. to keep that rear end from coming around. But you know what, KK? It still manages to come right around more often than I would like.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, that you and me are we're gonna have to practice a little, because yeah, you need that brake bias a little lower. You're actually using the back brakes to help rotate the car into the corner. That's because these cars are usually really tight. So in order to counteract that tightness, you got to run a little low brake bias to help get that car rotated in the mid corner. But and some guys run it super low, and some guy, like you said, some guys like it high. So it's all, you can be more aggressive in corners if it's higher, but at the same time, getting that car rotated through is going to give you trouble.
All right, pace car is coming off, and we're going to see Christopher Knott in the 69. He will be your control car. He is on the inside, Novella around him. Look at that jump. Novella might have spun, because we see Knott get a big run, and he takes the 23 of Sean Walton with him. You can see Novella running third, Nate Maurer fourth, and the Rooster Babcock in fifth. Double wide racing behind them. Tightens up a little bit. That is some scary stuff as we see Alex McWhorter slightly off the pace after that restart. Going to have to keep an eye on that 15 and see if he starts moving forward or backward. A lot of movement in that group right there, KK.
Yeah, I'm trying to get situated on Parham of the 29. It's showing me the 29, but what number is he?
He's 29. He's the 971. Let's not get confused.
Yeah, he's still showing 903 on there, so got to keep that in mind. As yeah, Parham being real aggressive, making his way up. Some of these guys that are faster paced, like the 71 of David Cook, you can see them battling it up through the field, trying to get their track position before it's not too late, because 40 laps at Dover can go awfully fast.
It can, and David Cook right now, this might be the greatest challenge we've seen him face in the last few weeks, being stuck in 11th on that restart. He's got to cut through this field as quickly as he can to make himself part of the conversation. But right now, Christopher Knott, that's a name that we have not said very much this evening, but he is your leader up in that 69 car, and he's got Sean Walton, he of the front bumper, directly behind him. So this thing could get interesting very quickly. Matt Novella, he's had a smooth run today. A little shout out for Matt. Let's keep it on the track and move up, get you a podium, my friend. Nate Maurer, that's fourth, and Robert Babcock. I got to tell you what, of all those names, that Nate Maurer is the guy I'd be worried about the most running fourth in that orange 971.
Yeah, anytime Nate Maurer's there in the top 10 in the closing laps, it's nerve-wracking there. He's just an awesome driver here in the Xfinity Series, so we'll have to keep an eye on him. And further back, 2 car spots back is 44 Chris Cornett, so it's definitely heating up.
And right in between them, how about that 7 of KB, Kevin Brower? We haven't talked much about Kevin Brower. He's had some strong runs and then just kind of got caught up into the foolishness of the restarts. If we can keep this thing green, really interesting to see. Brower had a 23-second pit stop, so that's 4 freshies, a full tank of gas, and a hit on that vape pen. So KB really looking like he could do something here. That's that 7 of Kevin Brower as well. Somebody we're going to want to keep a little eye on.
Yeah, well said, Mean Gene. And like you said, they're following, and they're following Nate Maurer, and nobody else better to follow, but time's a ticking, so it's time to stop following and getting here and start digging and getting closer to this leader at the moment.
Look how close that front bumper of the 23 is as Walton side by side with the 69. He's trying to look under him, and right behind him, you know, Matt Novella is telling him, do it, do it, do it, do it, because he'd like to go swing right on by. The 2 of Babcock gets awful close to Maurer, but he lets off. You can see Maurer doing a great job of coming in soft, rolling the car, and powering out. But right now, boy, that 23 and that 69 side by side, those tires have got to be screaming like my cat in the middle of the night on that fence.
Oh, he touches, gets a touch.
He does it. He of the front bumper finally does it. Walton is going to take your lead. And right now in the radio, you know Knott wants to get back at him. Let's see if his bumper works as well. This is some exciting stuff, KK.
Yeah, we're going to see. I don't know, though, if the 69's got anything left for him now, as the Novella's going to get underneath and cause him to slow down even more. So this is what Sean wants to see, though, in his back view, as these guys
Look how tight
battle.
these cars are. Look how tight these cars are right now. This is anybody's race. We've got 30 laps to go. Novella touches the apron, comes up, almost touches the 69 of Knott, lets off. That makes that whole second group ease off a little bit.
Here
And
comes
look at
Nate.
Maurer sneaking under Novella, and he can hold that apron about as tight as anybody. And Novella trying to power through. This is great racing. Novella touches the wall. Babcock, Cornette all bunched up. Babcock into Novella. Something's got to give.
Here comes Chris Cornette diving underneath, getting underneath the two. The two wasn't prepared for that move, but here comes Cornette now making a charge.
They are going hard right now. Update from the pits. The 961 of Larry Johnson has parked it, and he is out of the race. Cornette, Kevin Brower making contact. Everybody's making contact. Nobody minds this thing right now. There's been no wrecks. They're keeping it straight. But how many laps can you expect your car to respond and correct, especially as they get more and more on these tires?
Yeah, Nate Maurer made it through the Hornet's Nest. Now it's just a mano with Sean Walton. These two have tangled before. Matt Novella now trying to hold off the Babcock, the Rooster, and the 69 Christopher Knott. Looks like Knott might have used up all his tire there as he gets underneath as Cornette gets underneath the 69, trying to make a pass also.
This is some great racing. Yeah, Christopher Knott, he gave it all he had, but he is at this point is now just holding on for dear life. He pitted 32 laps ago.
And here goes the pass for the lead as Nate Maurer looks underneath the 23.
Oh, the 23 is not going to give it up. I think it's wreckers or checkers right now for Walton. No way he's just going to let this thing slip out of his fingers. Babcock
he has a
underneath
choice.
Novella for third. This is great. Maurer, your new leader, and he is in the groove. Look at him just come out of there on that preferred line. It's Chris Cornette has got to make his way through these last three cars if we want to see a race.
Yeah, I mean, Gene, I'm with you. Nate Maurer looks like he's got 27 laps on that stint. And like you said, Cornette 19 with a top of fuel. So we're not sure what this could all come down to. Maybe some fuel mileage, maybe not. But Chris Cornette and David Cook both stuck behind some of these slower cars at the moment.
I'm looking at Novella. Is that right? 74 laps? 75 laps?
No, Matt Novella, I'm showing 34 laps.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I was like, that cannot be right. We're going to update this thing afterward, ladies and gentlemen. There's strange things are amiss on my top 35 standings. Matt Novella underneath Walton. Look at that move, though, by Cook as he takes that underneath lane, slide right back the tires. Those 5 laps where they were touching, they had to be swerving those cars, that wheel hard left to right to try to keep it on the straight and narrow. The more cars coming out of the pits, hopefully they'll stay low and not be an issue. Right now, though, Nate Maurer, and he's run this thing up to a half a second lead over the Rooster Babcock. David Cook giving chase, Matt Novella and Chris Cornette in 5th. That's your top 5. Really exciting racing. Christopher Knott, he's in 6th, still slipping a little bit backwards. He's going to give up that position to the 53 to Bollinger. But still, great run for Christopher Knott. Maybe he's letting his tires cool off because that was a hot chase when he was up there in that front.
Yeah, 10-4. We'll have to see with 20 laps left here, 21 laps left, but definitely David Cook giving chase of Nate Maurer. This is what Nate Maurer's always been asking for, is competition. He gets tired of running away with races, so we'll see what Nate and David can bring to the table here.
Hey, let's not count out the Rooster. You know, he's 10th in points. He would love to put himself back into this thing. And Babcock, you know, he was part of that incident earlier, but the guy's only got 38 points. So maybe he also could get this thing up there. But these are the two guys. We've been saying these guys' names the last 7 races. Between the two of them, they've won 5 of the last 7 races. Nate Maurer, your leader in that 971, and David Cook right behind him. I'll tell you what, if I'm Nate Maurer, I'm going to put my butt right in Cook's lane and just drive around that outside and make Cook go somewhere he's not accustomed to.
Yeah, and look up further ahead. That's Sean Walton in the 23. He must have took damage as he was falling back there to go already a lap down. I mean, Gino, unless we missed something.
Well, he did go down on the apron. I'm not sure what caused that. but he definitely lost a great deal of speed. Look at right there, Maurer and Cook. Maurer takes a different lane, and when Cook comes in with that high rate of speed, he's forced to slow down. Maurer right now definitely just driving that smooth line, and he's going to see what David Cook's about. It does not get any better than this, KK. This is what we want to see. The two of the three top drivers right here dueling. I don't know if this is Epee, Sabre, or Foil, but right now we are seeing a sword fight between these two drivers with 17 laps remaining.
Yeah, it's quite amazing here to see two of the top in our league battling out here like this. Hopefully it's a green flag run and we can see who can outlast each other.
Really exciting here at Dover. Remember, this is race 11 of our 13 race regular season. Nate Maurer, he's got 4 wins on the season. He would love to put number 5 in the books. Maurer, this will be his 9th start. He still needs one more start to officially make it, but I think there's nothing right now standing between Maurer and qualifying for the chase, but there is something between him and that last win, and that's that 71 of David Cook. These guys just look good running this track. Cook's starting to run the same line, trying to figure out right now exactly what's going on in the brain of Maurer. Look how similar their lines are, but somehow the 971 of Maurer is able to just come out a little bit faster. There's something about the way Nate rolls that car, KK.
Yeah.
Look right there. They come in looking very similar, and you can see Cook close the gap at about that halfway point, and then all of a sudden Maurer just powers out of it a little faster. The 98 of Joe Volpus is about to come into the picture right now. Volpus, I'm showing him, he's still on the lead lap, but not for long. Maurer going to go under Volpus. Cook forced to change his line. Volpus does a great job of staying out of this battle, but that's going to have Joe Volpus go one lap down. No, it looks like David Cook also coming up is going to be put a lap down soon. 13 laps remaining. You think fuel is going to become an issue? Is that what we're seeing out of Owens and Volpus right now? Are they up, KK, are they up to some backward counting fuel mileage nonsense?
They could be. That's if you can't beat them, you got to come up with another way to do it. So we'll figure it out as time goes by, as they both go underneath Owens right now. Let's go on board with one of them, though. Maybe we can hear them if they're shutting. As now Cook's underneath Nate. They're side by side, but Nate's going to have the momentum.
I mean, at this point, those two are committed to racing it and just taking another pit stop if they're forced to. You can't suddenly start saving fuel 42 laps into a run. That's just not a thing. Whereas if you look a little bit further back, sure, Owens and Volpus just went a lap down, but they definitely are up to some foolishness.
Now look, Nate.
If there's a caution, we can talk to him. Cook, but look at Nate. He rolls so well, and then just has that momentum coming out of that turn.
Wow, that's really not going to sit well with David Cook. Probably Nate took it really high and drove it back down the track and pinched David Cook off. It worked perfectly, as it definitely going to give him room. We'll have to keep an eye on this.
It reminds me of Bart and Maggie having an argument. You know, Maggie says she's just going to punch her arms like this, and if you get in the way, it's your own fault. Bart's kicking, saying if you get in the way, it's your own fault. So we'll see. It's nobody's fault right now.
Here, Nate's going to do it again, and now drive down the track and exit lower. But David was ready for it that time. He's not going to let him get doored and try again here.
I mean, at this point, you're just driving your race. You're following your line. Cook is the one that has to make it happen. And as long as Maurer can stay in front, he knows David Cook is not going to do something silly that Cook will let off. Cook at this point has proven that he does not want that contact. But I'll tell you what, David Cook watched as Sean Walton made his way up to the front. David Cook watched that 23 force his way into the lead, and he watched the way he did it. David Cook has not driven that way all year. But I think if he wants to beat Nate Maurer today, he might have to take a page out of Sean Walton's book and use that front bumper. I ain't saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's a thing.
Yeah, and I'm getting some comments on YouTube saying it is going to be a fuel race here. So we'll keep an eye on Nate and David, see if they can make it. But they're really slowing down now because here you see Matt Novella coming up through the ranks, passing them.
Yeah, they're starting to spread out too. That's Jonathan. Is that Jonathan Case of Beer in that white 6 car?
Yes, sir.
As well. Maurer. Oh, hello, Matt Novella and Jonathan Case of Beer checking in.
That's definitely going to throw off the 71 with Matt Novella doing that. There is going to slow down David quite a bit.
Matt's still doing it. Hey, Matt, I mean, my favorite beer is free beer, not Case of Beer. He's got to be careful back there.
Oh, here comes Nate down pit road.
Nate forced to pit. Oh, you know that he's tasting the acid in his mouth. He had one of the faster cars all day. David Cook takes the lead. David Cook has run the fastest lap today. But David Cook, even though he's run that fastest lap, can he make it on fuel? This is going to be insane. That's going to rotate around. Bollinger, Cornette, Parham, Alex McWhorter in 5th. All these guys, though, are 41 laps into this run. Who's been saving fuel? I think you're going to have to look all the way down and perhaps to some of these lapped cars until you see who's been saving the fuel. Is it Owens, Vulpes? Guess who's down there saving fuel too? Mr. Front Bumper, Sean Walton, Matt Novella. Even Joe Amato is down there with the fuel saving. Novella Amato actually 2 laps down. But let's look at those Gulf Coast guys of Owens, Vulpes, and Walton. Going to need to keep a track of what they are doing. Action back on the track. You can see Babcock making his way around. He's got Kyle Lynn behind him, and then that 971 back on the track. But that's going to cost him positions. Fuel mileage. I wish I was a good enough driver to get beaten by somebody counting backwards and doing the gas thing.
All right.
But
they have 149. Is this the white flag?
Hasn't happened yet.
Oh, 2 to go. 2 to go.
Pushing this thing around. Got to be a lot of anxiety in that team. He runs under the bridge, spinning it around as hard as he can under the Ally Bridge coming into turn 4. David Cook, and he's got a pretty good lead over the 53 of Bollinger.
Now he takes the white flag there, Mean Gene, one more time around if he can make it.
This is exciting. David Cook, he's looking to get his 3rd win in 8 races. It sounds like it's still going. The gap's getting bigger. Bollinger's actually slowing down behind him. David Cook, he's looking strong. I think he might be able to put this thing in neutral and go over the finish line. Boom, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here at Dover, David Cook. What a run. He stamps his name here at the Monster Mile, and he is going to be the winner of race 11. Following behind him, the 53 of Colin Bollinger. He was bringing it as well, but he just did not have the answer. And Chris Cornette wins 2 stages. Can't get that top position, but Chris Cornette is going to end up in 3rd, finishing on the podium as well. Alex McWhorter 4th. Hey, Jay Stinson makes his way up into the top 5. Great run by the 89 car of Stinson. Scotty Estep gonna take 6th. Dustin Parham, Andrew Bolander, Kyle Lynn, David Kirkpatrick holds that 27, takes 10th place. KK, we were talking about fuel mileage, but instead it just turns into the David Cook show again.
Yeah, great job there by David Cook. I think he's gotten tired of getting beat on fuel mileage race, and he came prepared today and was like counting backwards, like you said, from the get-go. But great job there by David Cook as he's celebrating here and on the front stretch of Dover. What a great fuel mileage race. Great green flag run we got there at the end. So great job by all the drivers here. So let's see if we can get maybe David Cook and Bollinger and Cornette in for some interviews.
All righty, I'm hunting down Cornette. I think he hides at the very top. Gonna bring him slowly down. He's probably wondering what he's doing in those people's party. And now he's wondering what he's doing in those people's party. Here we go. All right, Chris Cornett, driver of the 44 Chevrolet. KK, Mean Gene Money up here. Can you hear me, my friend?
Gotcha.
Oh, my word. What has a bow tie on the front, won the 2 stages, and finishes on the podium?
Yeah, no, that was I was hoping to finish it all out, finishing first, but I burned up my stuff there on the last stage.
Oh, it was tough. You were in the middle. You and David Cook both were on that restart. That were just stuck in the middle of all of those cars, and you still, you're a little down on yourself, but you got to give yourself some credit. Cutting through that field, what was the most harrowing moment as you piloted your way up into this 3rd place finish?
Try not to get pinched into the wall to end my day, which happened a couple times with the 2 coming off of exit of 2. I had a run on the outside and he just cleared himself. So
you're not the only person. I believe David Owens might have also let Rooster know that he was number 1 with a hand signal coming out of that window. Babcock, though, he's one of your lower drivers on incident points. So maybe it was a tire deal for him, or maybe he just had stars in his eyes. Really great to see you out there make that run. You and I did get to talk before the race. We talked about last week. The tire strategy should have put you at the top of that podium. But today, Chris Cornett in the 44 makes his way into 3rd, and that is really going to help push you up in points, especially with those stage points, Chris. Great job today.
I appreciate it. Yeah, those stage wins should help me out in points. So
yeah, you were 5th coming into this thing, and I think we're going to see you take over that 4th position from Joseph Amato. Top 5 finishers in that regular season are going to get you some extra points as you hit that chase race. And right now, Chris Cornett looking like one of those guys that's going to finish in the top 5. Chris, anybody you want to say hi to?
Just friends, family who's watching. And thank y'all for putting on a good broadcast, awesome broadcast. Thank you for MRL for letting me come on and join the MRL family to race for a championship.
Hey, man, you're in the deep of it. You're in the soup, my friend. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens over the next couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Cornett in the 44 Chevrolet. He's your 3rd place finisher at Dover today. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
And KK, who you got next?
Mean Gene, I was playing with the camera controls. Let's see. It's going to be, we can find Bollinger, the 53.
Hey, Colin, we got you, bud.
Yes, sir.
There he is. We got him, KK.
Okay. Hey, that's what I like to hear.
What do you think, Colin? You were you hoping to see that 71 start puttering?
Oh my God, yeah. I was counting down the laps there after I want to say Maurer went in the pits, and I was like, oh, so well, surely he's gonna follow him, and he just never did, unfortunately. But we still ended up with a P2 and led some laps today. Got in a little accident. We did everything out there, so.
That's something we could say about your season right now. You have done a little bit of everything. You got a win. You've got a stage win. You've taken a pole position. We've seen a little bit of everything out of you. And also we've seen some adversity last week. That 26th place finish, that did not help you. You really needed a strong run to get back up in this race. There's only 39 points between 4th and 14th position coming in, and top 5 are going to get some of those playoff points going into that chase. So really strong run, Colin. I'm with you, man. I thought David, especially those lap times he was laying down, might have run out of fuel. But you're there at the end. You ran strong, and amazing run today by you. Anybody you'd like to give a little shout out to?
Just the boys back at the garage. Some of the guys I raced with. They were in here tonight. Bolander, Walton, even though everybody kind of gives him a hard time, and Hunter Manley and those guys. So, I'm always racing with them. So it's always a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the names you called right there were some of the stronger drivers that we saw run today. Sean, he also led some laps looking strong out there. Passing with your front bumper might be frowned upon by some, but, Sean's not out there wrecking people. He's making a little bit of contact. But, that's exciting race, and that's the kind of thing I like to see, and I know the fans at home like to see that thing as well. Colin Bollinger, 53 Toyota, going to take his car into second place today. Definitely going to help you in the points. Great run today.
Thank you.
All right, Mean Gene,
And I guess that leaves one, doesn't it, KK?
That's right. You got David Cook, our winner here at Dover. Full mileage race, Mean Gene. So, Davidson.
Well, there can only be one David, and today it is David Cook in the number 71. David, how many more times are you going to win before this thing's over? This is win number 3 in the last 8 weeks.
We all do it for that reason. We all love racing, and yeah, it's always great to win. But man, I can't believe what just happened. I thought I was racing Nathan for the win right there, so I was trying to save tires and just wait till the last 2 laps, and he came in for fuel, and yeah, I'm just blown away right now. So,
well, you came into this thing 54 points behind, and then you find yourself chasing the guy that's in the lead. You got to be a little bit, your expectations definitely have to be lowered. And then all of a sudden, what happens? You see Nate Maurer. He has to pull that 971 into the pits. Nate Maurer, who is the points leader, he finishes 18th. David Owens, who is second in points, he finishes 16th. And David Cook, who's third in points, he takes the win. I tell you what, you give us a couple of more of these things, my friend, and I think we might be seeing you pushing for that championship. Do you still smell it? Is it right on the edge of your nose?
smell it every day I wake up, man. Just like any of us that wanted to be race car drivers, every day we wake up wanting to do this. So yeah, I'd like to go for it.
I tell you what, you are right in the midst of this thing. And the way that you guys have run, we talked about this earlier. You, David Owens, and Nate Maurer, those three guys, y'all had won the last 7, and now all of a sudden y'all have won the last 8 races in a row. Those two guys hiccuped a little bit. They fell to the middle of the field. These are 30 and 32 car fields. And if they have a bad race at one of those and you continue to do what you do, I think the sky's the limit. Also, got to let you know, David, we have officially named the outside lane Cook's Lane. The way you run that thing is just impressive week after week. I mean, are you practicing on that lane, or did you just find yourself there in the race?
It's, I had somebody tell me a long time ago, high, wide, and beautiful. If there's nobody out there, that's where you need to go. So that's where the speed's at, and that's what I've always tried to do. So that's just what I try to do every race. Where they're not, I try to go and find that fresh air and get my race car as much cleaner as I can coming off the corner.
That last restart, you found yourself back in the middle of the field. I think you started 11th or 12th on that restart. Did you have faith in yourself to cut through that field and make your way up?
One of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things you just want to be patient. And, everybody had a lot older tires. So I was just, biding my time and, just letting things play out. And, a few times there, I definitely got worried, but we made it through. That's all that matters right now.
Heck of a run there today, bud. I'm really impressed with what you did and really enjoyed the show. Anybody you want to give a shout to?
Absolutely. All my family. Thanks for supporting me all the time, whether it's real racing or sim racing, they're always there. So I have a great support system, and that always helps me too. So my sponsor, Sim Wrap Market, go check them out. They got some beautiful wraps to put on your iRacing cars and whatever else you got going on.
That's right. You might not be as fast as David Cook, but you can look as good as him.
Well said.
David, heck of a race, my friend. We're going to see this thing coming down to the wire. David Cook, pilot of the 71 Chevrolet, he is your winner, top of the pile. Number 1 here today at Dover. Looking forward to seeing what you're going to do in these last 2 races of that regular season, David. Thank you so much for the show, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Your broadcast is awesome every week, and anybody watching, we appreciate it. Keep coming out, watching us. These races are just getting better.
They really are. Today was just a heck of a show by these drivers. 32-car field. Doesn't get much better than that, ladies and gentlemen. Take this opportunity right now. look down at the bottom, hit like, please subscribe. And as long as you guys keep supporting us, these drivers are going to keep coming out here and putting on the best show that you're going to see on iRacing. Monday and Wednesday, both, we are going to give you a hell of a show on MRL Broadcasting. KK, final thoughts.
Just like you said, Gene, it looked pretty rough there at the beginning with some yellow flags, but they came out at the end and really gave us a show with the fuel mileage race and tire race. So great race, and looking forward to next week there, Gene.
I tell you what, this has just gotten better and better, and we really are seeing the class of the field right now. David Cook, he has picked the perfect time to start peaking. Nate Maurer, one of your smoothest drivers. You can see how well he rolls that car in there, and if it weren't for this gas shenanigans, I'm sure him and Cook would have had a much more interesting battle. And then David Owens as well. Those three guys just battling for this regular season championship, something that we're going to keep an eye on the rest of the way. Please, ladies and gentlemen, hit like, hit subscribe, join us every Wednesday and every Monday here on MRL Broadcasting for some of the most exciting racing that you are going to see. But for now, unfortunately, it is time to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us tonight. Mean Gene Money, the voice of MRL. KK bringing you all of the amazing camera work and stats that you see up there. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.